Imagine getting up each early daytime, feeling grounded, engaged, and prepared, paying little notice to what the day may hold. Imagine yourself going through life's promising and less encouraging times with ease and adaptability, your interior calm undisturbed by outer strife. This isn't just a distant dream. A methodology to regular daily existence has been pursued and practiced for quite a while, laid out in the old wisdom of Stoicism. Today, we dive into a topic that isn't simply about understanding an unconcerned method of pondering, seeing, and changing approaches to acting that substitute our heading. Lack of approachability tells us the best way to live equitably and find joy in the affirmation of what we can't change while working persistently on what we can. It's connected to seeing our capacity to foster internal strength, understanding, and calmness, paying little mind to external conditions. Passionless Stoic principles guide us to embrace hardships as opportunities for advancement, to regard straightforwardness over complexity, and to seek fulfillment in the depth of our character. In our journey through modern life, we often find ourselves getting sidetracked from these norms, captured in habits and attitudes that delude us. These adversarial dispassionate methods of acting serve as deterrents to our own philosophical advancement. They hold us back from experiencing the full abundance of life and from embodying the impassive standards of determination. Value one's keen awareness and restraint, and before we dive deeply into the earth-shattering knowledge of detachedness, I encourage you to become involved with the feed as a watcher as well as an active participant in this journey. Remember, you're not equivalent to the larger part. You've chosen to embrace this, making you a unique case. Don't skip any part of the video. Each part is a crucial step toward understanding and integrating Stoic practices into your life, helping you stand out in a vast expanse of conformity in a world flooded by advancements and consumer culture. Understanding that basic bliss lies in the following of our possessions, yet Stoicism invigorates us to find fulfillment and joy within ourselves. It teaches us that the pursuit of material overflow can often be a distraction from achieving genuine internal harmony and fulfillment. Stoics believe that by focusing on our inner character, our morals, and our actions, we can find a deeper, more enduring kind of happiness. So how should we apply this knowledge in our everyday lives? It starts with shifting our focus from what we want to get to what we want to experience and examining the moments that have truly advanced your life. These aren't about the things you've bought, but rather the experiences you've had and the connections you've made, whether it's a meaningful conversation with a friend, a stunning walk in nature, or the satisfaction of personal growth. These are the pleasures that stay with us, shaping our character and who we strive to be. The key is to challenge ourselves to value simplicity and authenticity over extravagance and deception. Consequently, we not only free ourselves from the endless cycle of craving but also embrace the genuine fulfillment that comes from living in alignment with Stoic principles. Remember, it's not the stuff we accumulate that defines our legacy, it's the understanding we gain, the warmth we share, and the harmony we find within ourselves. We experience a reality to such an extent that the amount of likes, shares, and followers can seem like direct measures of our worth. However, here's something to consider. When we base our self-worth on external validation, we're building our self-esteem on unstable ground. It's like constructing a house on sand. The smallest tide can wash it all away. Stoicism offers us a solid foundation. This ancient perspective teaches us that seeking validation from outside ourselves is a precarious path. The Stoics urge us to search within for support and confidence. They advise us to cultivate virtues like wisdom, mental courage, integrity, and restraint, qualities that define our character and which no external force can diminish or erase. We should reflect on this in our daily interactions. How often do we alter our views, suppress our true thoughts, or change our actions just to fit in or please someone else? It's like wearing a mask. The problem with this is that over time, wearing a mask can become stifling. Deep down, we know it's not our true self. Stoicism pushes us to remove the mask, embrace our authentic selves, and seek validation from within. This doesn't mean we should become indifferent to others or dismiss feedback altogether. After all, people are inherently social beings and relationships are important. What Stoicism teaches is the art of discernment, the ability to take in external opinions, weigh them against our sense of direction, and determine which feedback can aid in our growth. It's about being secure in who we are and our journey of personal development, free from the need for praise or criticism. So, the next time you find yourself craving validation or feeling affected by someone else's perspective, stop and ask yourself, am I seeking this validation for growth, or is it to compensate for a lack of self-confidence? Remember, your worth doesn't diminish because someone fails to see it. You are the guardian of your worth, and it's your internal goals, actions, and integrity that truly define you. Have you ever found yourself replaying a conversation over and over, or obsessively worrying about a future event? This is rumination, a loop of disappointment, stress, and fear. While we ruminate about the past or what's to come, the present moment, the one we actually have, slips away. Stoicism, with its rich history of practical wisdom, offers us a lifeline out of this cycle. The Stoics weren't just philosophers, they were practical thinkers who understood the value of focusing on the present. They taught that while we can't change the past and have no control over the future, we can influence the present by grounding ourselves in the now. We can break free from the chains of rumination that tether us to what we can't change or predict. But how do we do this? How can we shift our minds from past shadows or future uncertainties? The answer lies in practicing mindfulness and cultivating gratitude. When you find yourself slipping into rumination, pause and take a deep breath. Notice your surroundings, the colors, the sounds, the textures. This simple act of mindfulness can snap you back to the present, grounding you in reality. Additionally, amidst our challenges, it's easy to overlook the blessings we have right now. By consciously acknowledging these gifts, whether it's the warmth of the sun, the comfort of a home, or the presence of loved ones, we shift our focus from scarcity to abundance, from fear to gratitude. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the external events themselves that upset us, but our responses to them. By choosing to focus on the present and fostering a sense of gratitude, we not only break the cycle of rumination but also align with the Stoic ideal of living according to nature, which in this context means embracing life as it unfolds. Each time you pull yourself back from the past or future to the present moment, you're strengthening a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets, and the less control rumination will have over you. Living in the present, learning from the past without being anchored to it, and planning for the future without being consumed by anxiety is the path of Stoic wisdom. The Stoics understood that change isn't just a certainty of life but a major one. They saw change as the universe's natural order, a dance of transformations that offers opportunities for personal growth and wisdom. Rather than resisting change, Stoics advocate embracing it, seeing it as a pathway to becoming stronger, more resilient, and ultimately more in harmony with the flow of life. We could view change not as a threat but as a greeting, a challenge to explore, learn, and grow. When we shift our perspective in this way, the anxiety associated with change begins to dissipate. We start to see opportunities where we once saw obstacles, and we find energy in the prospect of new experiences and growth. But how do we make this shift? How do we learn to embrace change with genuine openness? It starts with a change in perspective. We need to let go of the illusion of control, the belief that we can hold on to the status quo, and instead embrace the Stoic mindset that the only real control we have is over our own thoughts and actions. Next, we can develop flexibility and adaptability, traits that allow us to navigate change with ease. This means being open to new ideas, willing to let go of old ones, and ready to step outside our usual comfort zones. Remember, it's often when we feel most uncomfortable that we grow the most. Finally, we can approach each change, whether it seems positive or negative, with a sense of curiosity. Every change brings with it opportunities and lessons. By focusing on what can be learned and how we can grow, we transform our experience of change from one of fear to one of interest and gratitude. So, let's not fear change. Instead, let's embrace it as the Stoics did, as a key component of the human experience that offers opportunities for growth and improvement. By stepping out of our comfort zones and exploring new possibilities, we find joy in the journey of becoming. Through change, we discover our ability to test our limits and create a life that reflects our deepest values and desires. In embracing progress, we find our true strength and our path to inner harmony. It's easy to get caught up in minutiae, losing focus on what truly matters. Stoicism reminds us that not everything deserves our energy and attention. It teaches us the art of discernment, to see the difference between what we can change and what we must accept. This ability is crucial because it allows us to focus our efforts where they can truly make a difference, freeing us from the futile pursuit of controlling the uncontrollable. Imagine how much lighter your life could feel if you let go of trivial concerns. Picture yourself moving through your days grounded in the present, your mind uncluttered by unnecessary worries. This isn't just a beautiful dream, it's a practical reality that Stoicism invites us to embrace. So, how can we start letting go of these insignificant interruptions? It begins with mindfulness. Catch yourself when you fall into the trap of minor concerns. Ask yourself, will this matter in 7 days, a month, or a year? Is this within my control? If the answer is no, grant yourself permission to release that concern. Consciously shift your focus to something within your control and worth your attention. Stoicism urges us to adopt a broader perspective on life, helping us recognize the fleeting nature of our experiences. When we zoom out and view our lives in a larger context, we realize that many of our worries are trivial and temporary. Acceptance can provide a sense of calm and composure even amid life's inevitable fluctuations. Stoicism doesn't just help us detach from minor worries, it also guides us toward more meaningful engagements with life. By conserving our mental energy, we can channel it into pursuits that enrich our daily lives and the lives of others, expanding our relationships, developing our talents, contributing to our communities, and building a legacy that reflects our deepest values. When we've been wronged, we often feel the urge for retribution. But we should pause and consider, what does seeking revenge really achieve? Does it heal our wounds, or does it just create new ones? The Stoics teach us that revenge is a trap, an instinctual reaction that pulls us away from our rational selves and leads us down a path of bitterness and harm. When we indulge these impulses, we allow others' actions to control our emotions and dictate our perspective. Why give someone else that power over us? Instead, Stoicism advocates for forgiveness and understanding. This doesn't mean excusing wrongdoing or pretending no harm was done, but rather recognizing that holding on to anger harms us more than it harms the other person. It's about choosing to release ourselves from the destructive grip of resentment and contempt. How do we do this? How can we let go of these overwhelming feelings and move toward forgiveness? It starts with acknowledging our emotions, allowing ourselves to feel hurt or angry without judgment. Stoicism doesn't require us to suppress our feelings but to understand them and examine their hold over us. Next, try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. This isn't easy, especially when we're hurt, but it can be illuminating. Often, we'll find that the person who wronged us is acting out of their own pain, fear, or confusion. This doesn't excuse their behavior, but it can help us view it as less personal and more human. Here, the true power of Stoicism comes into play. It teaches us to focus on what we can control. We have no power over others' actions, but we do have power over our responses. By choosing forgiveness, we reclaim our power and refuse to be defined by others' negative actions or by our own negative emotions. Forgiveness isn't about forgetting or condoning, it's about choosing to release resentment and embrace a higher path of understanding and compassion. Stoicism encourages us to live intentionally, making deliberate choices about how we invest our energy, ensuring our actions align with our core values and contribute to our personal growth. The Stoics remind us that while we have no control over the length of our lives, we do have some control over its meaning and quality. They urge us to ask ourselves, are we merely passing time, or are we truly living? Consider how you spend an average day. How much of your time is devoted to activities that have a real impact on you, and how much is wasted on things you won't remember in a week? It's easy to fall into the trap of mindless scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows, or engaging in superficial interactions. But imagine what could happen if you reclaimed that time and redirected it into pursuits that nourish your soul and enhance your life. Conducting a review of your time can be a powerful exercise. For 7 days, track how you spend your time. At the end of the week, review your log and reflect on how much of your time aligns with your values, contributes to your growth, and brings you fulfillment. Voluntary discomfort involves willingly choosing to experience inconvenience or challenge, such as taking cold showers or fasting. This practice helps build mental toughness and resilience. By subjecting yourself to discomfort, you become more accustomed to facing adversity and less likely to be overwhelmed by life's difficulties. A Stoic morning routine involves starting your day with intentional practices that set a positive and mindful tone. This might include meditation, setting daily goals, or reviewing Stoic principles. A well-established morning routine helps you begin the day with clarity, purpose, and a mindset aligned with Stoic values. Emotional detachment means maintaining inner peace by focusing on what you can control, your actions and responses, rather than external events or outcomes. This helps you stay composed and resilient, regardless of what happens around you. By concentrating on your own behavior and attitude, you avoid unnecessary stress and maintain a steady emotional state. Keeping a Stoic journal involves recording your thoughts, reflections, and experiences related to Stoic practice. This can help you track your progress, note insights, and reflect on how well you adhere to Stoic principles. Journaling provides a structured way to review and reinforce your commitment to living a Stoic life. Reducing engagement with social media and digital distractions can help minimize stress and envy. By setting specific times for digital activities and focusing more on real-world interactions, you can avoid the pitfalls of constant online comparison and maintain a clearer, more focused mind. Practicing empathy means making an effort to understand others' perspectives and experiences. Even while maintaining emotional detachment, empathy enriches your relationships and helps you respond to others with compassion and understanding rather than judgment. A Stoic perspective emphasizes the importance of personal growth and inner development over external achievements. Setting goals aligned with your values and character rather than societal expectations helps you focus on what truly matters to you and fosters a deeper sense of fulfillment. Engaging in regular physical exercise supports both mental and physical well-being. Exercise promotes resilience, discipline, and a balanced state of mind, aligning with the Stoic emphasis on maintaining health and vitality as part of a well-rounded life. Practicing forgiveness involves letting go of grudges and negative feelings towards others and yourself. Forgiveness releases you from the emotional burden of resentment, promoting inner peace and aligning with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control.